live recording this right now. It is Thursday, November 6th. Chase is here. We're back. Chase, this is way better. I'm actually like in my office. I'm home. I'm not having to hop in and out on a Zoom, holding up my phone in an arena in South Carolina at 1:30 in the morning. This is way better, man.
This is way better. I mean, it's the first. No, we did. I guess we did a Villanova one where we sat down, but the North Carolina one, I was in your shoes and on my phone in a hotel room. Would have rather been on the court, but not all of us are, have the Carter privileges. But it's good to be back. Good to be
Chase,
back.
by all means, we could have gotten you to South Carolina.
Sure. Rock Hill was calling my name, Carter. I did not answer it though.
So it just means more to some of us, It just means more. Shout out the SEC. Queens Winthrop was a hoot. Field of 68 Invitational was a success outside of a 4 minutes of the stream going down, and I was so exhausted, man. I got back to that hotel room at like 2:15. It's like, dude, I can't even. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't gone back. I haven't listened to any of what we said on that podcast. I don't remember a thing that was said.
I do. I was solo for like 20 minutes, struggling to find things to say without my co-host. But it was an awesome game, Carter. We'll find plenty to dissect as we've gone back and watched it today.
Yeah, it was much better going back and rewatching the film and everything and diving in, taking more notes and going through it. So we'll talk more about this Villanova BYU game. That's the plan for today. Some other takeaways that we had that we might have missed on the instant reaction, what we're looking at going forward. We're not going to really preview too much of the Holy Cross game just because, haven't watched a ton of Holy Cross film, and BYU should win this game by 25 plus. It's more so what we want to see and what certain adjustments we want to see going into that game and Delaware. And then next week, we get the big one, Chase. We got UConn next week. Preview for that show. Then I'll be coming to you live from the court after that game. Hopefully I can be on my computer though, but we'll find out for that one.
We'll find out. It'll just be amazing to have boots on the ground in Boston, my favorite place. Home away from home.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I'll say hi to your folks in Southie for you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah. And if you find any remnants of Jaylen Brown's hairline, you can bring it back as a little souvenir.
I watched Good Will Hunting the other night. Good movie.
Classic.
I mean, not the first time I've seen it, but
I mean, you got to go. But you should watch all the Boston flicks before you head out there. The Town. You and Joe Mazzulla.
I watched The Town fairly recently, actually. The one thing I don't like about Good Will Hunting though is that it was written by Matt Damon, and Matt Damon played, the guy that was awesome in the movie. Like, he made himself look a little too cool. I don't know. That kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Also,
yeah, how did that go? Like, him and Ben Affleck sit down. They're like best friends. And Matt's like, all right, so I'll be the super genius. I get a hot girl and like everyone wants me. You will be the druggy low-life loser who doesn't go anywhere in life and just does construction. And they were just like cool with that. I'm like, all right.
But which character did you like more in the movie?
Matt Damon's character is a jerk for 95% of it. So, shout out Ben Affleck, I guess. Robin Williams is the best character, though.
He played the best role in the movie.
Yeah, he's unreal.
I kind of like the professor. I thought as playing that role of the professor, like, he did it very well.
Bill Skarsgård. He did it well. He's kind of the antagonist of the film.
Yeah, I know. I know. I thought he was great in the movie.
No, good performances all around. Casey Affleck gets some play in there. He does good.
He did. Yeah, that was good. The casting for the bar scene. All right, anyhow, we can't get down this road. This is a BYU podcast.
We're talking.
This would have gone on for like 30 more minutes. Let's talk about the Villanova game. I'll let you start. Any other takeaways that you missed on the instant reaction show after taking some time to rewatch the film, and anything we felt like maybe we overreacted on or underreacted on the last show?
Yeah, we can just do like a little fire back and forth here. I'm sure we got some of the same stuff, but the biggest for me is the bench. It was well publicized after the game by a lot of accounts who watched. We didn't necessarily mention it on the show. I think it was more of an afterthought. We were just focused on more like what got them the win. Only 7 bench points, Carter, in this game, which everyone listening probably knows that by now. because again, it was a lot of people pointed that out. It's not good to only have 7 points on your bench. I don't think that's a surprise, but at the same time, it's also surprising because of how BYU performed last year from the bench and how deep it went. I talked a lot about after the game. Kevin Young subbed so many times, like an outrageous amount of times in that game. But it's not like he was going super deep into the bench, if you know what I mean. You had Xavier, who only played 1 minute. You have Tyler Mruss only played 2 minutes. Other than the starting 5, only 3 guys really got substantial playing time. So that's only 8 guys total. So although the subbing was frequent and often, it wasn't like going super deep into the bench. He wasn't pulling out Diamande or Kostic. He was sticking with 8 guys really, minus 2 minutes from Mruss, 1 minute from Xavier. Sticking with 8 guys, filtering them in and out constantly. And then, like we did mention, stuck with those 5 for the last 6 or 7 minutes, and they got them the win. But the distribution of scoring, I think is something to take note of, and maybe down the line may cost BYU if it continues in this trend. Because in basketball, you need a boost from the bench. You need guys to come in there and sustain offensive output when your best players are off the floor. And when AJ would leave the floor, when Rob would leave the floor, when Richie would leave, it was looking towards those guys. Now, Kevin Young did a really good job of not separating all 3 of those guys at once. One of those 3 will probably always be on the court for BYU the rest of the season. But you still need to rely on some sparks to come off the bench. BYU had it last year, right? With guys like Dallin Hall. I mean, it was a luxury to have him coming off the bench, going out and making points. Fus Traore being able to play center and score on his own, create his own shot. But this year, at least this game, didn't have it. Dawson Baker, was good and shifty and crafty getting into the lane and making some things, made a 3. And Boop was working hard on the boards, but never got a bucket. Boscovich got just 1 shot in. It's a problem, Carter. And if it continues, it'll lead to discussions and, knock on wood, but losses if it continues this way.
And we briefly touched on that last episode. That's why Nate Pickens' health is a huge concern for me for this season. We need to see him back, because eventually, who do you trust to run the offense when Rob Wright is out of the game? Like, yeah, AJ and Richie can, score enough, but the offense isn't flowing. It isn't humming by any means. They can score, they can get theirs, but it's not getting everybody involved, and it's not a fluid offense. Nate Pickens is going to have to play a huge role for this team. And I agree. I think you saw 8 guys play in this game when Pickens is back. It's going to be a pretty tight 8-9 man rotation, I think, all season long. And if you're one of these guys that aren't cracking the rotation, Diamande, Staten, Mruss, any of those guys, Kostic, these games against Holy Cross, Delaware, these bye games, you have to show up for. And this is your tryout to see if you're going to be able to play later on in the season. Now, there's going to be moments where they get to play spot minutes and you could maybe earn a little bit more playing time. But if you want to play in these early non-con games, you got to show it in these next 2.
Absolutely. I don't know, Carter. Maybe am I overreacting a little bit? You compared this team to last year's Duke team, loosely, of course. But talk about last year's Duke team, because we all watched them, but you more than me. They kept the rotation pretty tight, right? I mean, it was reliant upon 3 guys for scoring. Is it something that BYU can do? Can they follow that blueprint, or am I right here saying you need more from the bench?
It's tough, because that Duke team was freaking good, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Duke team was so good.
Yeah, but I mean, BYU's pretty good too. They have a lottery pick. They have an elite point guard. They have a good shooting guard.
Yeah, I mean, that Duke team wasn't. It was different than most, because Coach K really ran like a 7-man rotation throughout his time at Duke.
Yeah.
They ran like 9 last year, 9-10, and the scoring could be spread out more so, but I think it is a sustainable model with Rob Wright, AJ, and Richie. The problem becomes when there's if there's an injury. Knock on wood, I'm slamming on my desk right now. That's the problem. Is let's say there's a 2-week stretch, someone is out. What does that look like at that point? When any of those guys are out, one of those three, who's going to be able to step up off the bench and play those minutes? Because like a Duke team of last year, you could get some help from a guy like Mason Gills or Isaiah Evans would come in and make a bunch of threes randomly or something like that. Someone from from BYU's bench is going to have to step up in that way and bring that spark. And look, it can be Dawson Baker on a night, maybe. It could be, Morus could come in and hit a few threes on a night, but we're going to need to see that. Now, I know it's only one game, and so it's a very small sample size, but I think these next two games will be kind of telling of what we'll see out of the bench going forward.
Absolutely agree. Because like you said, this is the time to show it against Holy Cross and Delaware. I'm hopeful because I think they have a super talented bench. I don't think this is condemning. It was one game.
No, we talked about it. They over-recruited, it felt like it before, going into this season. It's the lack of guard play on the bench, in my opinion. I think that's what it is for me mainly.
Yeah, because you're right. You can't expect Dawson Baker and guys like Tyler Morus to come in and shoot well if guys aren't creating the opportunities for them. Because that's no offense to them, but that's their role, is to sit and shoot. And Dawson's a little more, has a little bit more variability to his game, getting to the rim or getting in the paint and stuff. But guys like Morus and even like Kostic, like I think they can shoot, but they are not creators of their own shot. They need a Nate Pickens to run in the second unit and be able to find them for them. I have high hopes seeing those guys this weekend.
Me too. I'm hoping. I'm hoping we get to see. I don't know how long Pickens is out. I haven't gotten an update or anything, so we'll see there. On more notes from this BYU Villanova game, I told you this stat. I told you this stat.
It's a great stat.
So we got on, and when I hopped on the live show, first thing I mentioned was second half. Only one assist in that second half. Now, the key to that, the other part of that that's kind of misconstrues that a little bit, was BYU put a huge emphasis on just attack, drive to the paint. And there was not a lot of kickouts. Villanova wasn't necessarily collapsing on guys when they were penetrating, so the kickout wasn't there. So guys were getting to the bucket or getting to the basket kind of at ease. And we also talked about that where dudes missed a lot of layups, and especially Rob Wright. He couldn't buy a bucket in that game, and he was getting super unlucky. But in the final 13 minutes and 15 seconds of the BYU-Villanova game, BYU did not make a single shot outside of 4.5 feet.
Repeat how long the time was, Carter?
13 minutes and 15 seconds. AJ hit that 1-3 in that guy's face on the left elbow, and then the rest of the game they did not make a single bucket, basically out a foot past the restricted area.
Unreal.
Outside of free throws, obviously, a field goal.
Right. Unreal.
It's crazy. But that was clearly the game plan in the second half is, hey, you guys can penetrate at will. Just drive. And honestly, this game would have been over if guys just weren't missing easy layups.
I mean, how many layups did they miss? I mean, it's unreal. I stopped counting when I was watching it again the second time. But I think it was more situational, like you're saying, Carter, where they realized like Villanova actually doesn't have the defenders to hang with you. We set the high screen with Kaba. He goes down. We talked about that ad nauseum. And that's going to be a bucket. And that's what they went to as their go-to. But still, Carter, 40 points in the paint and 14 from the free throw line. So 54 of your 71 points came from either layups or free throws. The rest, I mean, only a very few. You made 5 threes. And that was it. Maybe AJ hit a jumper, if I'm remembering correctly.
Rob hit that one at the top of the key to start the game.
Yes.
They hit that mid-range jumper. That was it.
That's it. And I'm not saying BYU should be taking mid-range jumpers. It's the threes that are the concern, right? I mean, you only took 17.
I think that's more game script, though, which I'm okay with, because when rewatching the tape, Villanova couldn't stay one-on-one with Rob Wright or AJ, and you were mentioning it before the show. I don't want to spoil your set or anything, but they had the ball in their hands quite a bit. If they could go one-on-one in that game, and it kind of wasn't the worst offense in the world if they would have just made layups.
Yeah, it would have been. You're right, and I think if they had made more layups, then it would have been an adjustment from Nova. It would have opened up the 3-pointer a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But then the 3 games we've watched BYU, they haven't shot it particularly good in any of them. I wouldn't say they even shot it average. I mean, 29% in this Villanova game is not something you look back on and are proud of. You got to be better, and they got to find more opportunities to shoot it, I think. I mean, your best shooters are Richie Saunders, and then who at this point? I mean, Dawson Baker coming off the bench. We've heard Morus is
I
good
think,
off the bench. He hasn't made one yet. But of the
yeah,
guys who are
Moo.
playing, Moo, who actually did shoot it well, going 2 for 4, and Boop, and Rob Wright, as you and I know, Carter, from last season when we've gushed about Rob Wright for almost an entire year now. That dude can shoot it. He's missed every single one he's taken outside of 4 feet this season, almost. But we know that guy can shoot. We know AJ can shoot. But I don't know if it's concerning or if it's just it's both promising and concerning. It's 2 sides of the spectrum here because BYU can go to the paint at will, and if they just finish, they win this game by double digits very easily. At the same time, you do want to see more threes. That's college. That is the key to basketball. You got to hit threes at the end of the day. You have to.
Yeah. Only took 6 in the second half.
Yeah, crazy. And Villanova, to be fair, was denying it. They respected the heck out of Richie Saunders. They didn't let BYU get a lot of catch and shoot opportunities.
One thing we didn't talk about a lot in the preseason previews was Richie having a target on his back now and how that's a little bit different now. It's like when a rookie quarterback has a great season and then now you got a year of film on him and how they defend him now. It's going to be very interesting how Richie responds to that going through this season.
Yeah, I think circled on the board in the pregame for BYU opponents is number 15 and obviously number 3 and number 1. But I think specifically number 15 and the game plan is like it's almost you're just shadowing him. They probably have a guy like we don't want this guy to be shooting it because they're not stupid. They feel the same way about Richie Saunders probably as we do. Maybe they don't love him as much, obviously.
I don't think they love him as much.
They know what he can do.
I can
I
tell
don't think
you
anyone does. Not even his family, to be honest. Just kidding.
What other stats you have from this game?
Yeah, another crazy one. It kind of ties into the stuff we've kind of talked about. Usage percentage, which is basically how much you use them on offense on the floor per player. Rob Wright usage percentage 32%. AJ DeVonsta usage percentage 33%. Very similar, but also the big thing is 65% of BYU's usage goes through 2 guys. And if you want to add it, Richie Saunders' usage percentage, 24%. So that's the team. At least it was, Saturday night. Or excuse me, not Saturday night. You know what I mean?
It's like we're watching those Brooklyn Nets teams with Kyrie, James Harden, and Kevin Durant.
Yes, it's we called them a big 3 before the season. They are, and they use them like it. I mean, over almost 90% of your usage went to 3 guys. It's unreal. It's not.
But I'm okay with that. I like.
Are you?
It can be a little. You can find it as a little concerning, but I want the ball in their hands that much, to be honest. And I'd be curious to see those numbers. What was it like in the first half with AJ? I want to know AJ's numbers in the first half because it felt like in the first half there was a lot more fluid movement and the running the offense a little bit more, and it kind of was stagnant in the second half where it was all right, clear out. I'm going to drive. That felt like the entire offense in the second half was clear out, penetrate.
Yeah, I think you're right. I just go back to the bench thing again. I won't belabor the point. I said it, but I think you need more from the bench. And to be clear about this stat, it doesn't mean that those guys took 90% of the shots. It's more of a way to determine how much they're being used in the offense as a whole. That doesn't necessarily mean they're the ones shooting at the end of the possession every time. So if someone's like 90%, if you add it all up, it'd be well over 100. But it's more of when they are on the floor, how much are they being used in whatever set they're running, whatever they're doing. So I don't want to be too misleading with that. But at the same time, that's a ton. In the NBA, if your usage percentage is above 35, like that means you're the guy. Like that's like Luka Doncic levels of usage percentage. So to see three guys be around that number, it's like I trust those guys. I hear what you're saying because they're awesome, but it's a team sport. I think you need the supporting cast to step up a little bit more. It's one game, so we're overreacting here, but
I think it's a fair point to bring up, because is this what we're going to see later on in the season in conference play when you're playing a tight game, things start to break down a little bit? What's the offense going to be? It's probably going to turn into what we saw in the Villanova game with the usage percentage, like you're talking about. It's either the ball's either going to be in Rob Wright's or AJ DeBance's hands, and they're going to drive to the basket. They're going to just try and penetrate. And
that's what won them the game. So I can't be mad at it. And I'm not, of course, because those are your best players. But I just know how this goes. If BYU wants to make the run that we projected them to, and that they are absolutely capable of, you need the full cast. You need Damon, you need Affleck, both Afflecks, you need Robin Williams, you need Skarsgård, you need them all for a good movie, Carter. And they all got to play their roles right, big or small. Yep. You can't have just three guys. You got to have the whole cast. You like how I tied that in there? It's pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, at first I was like Affleck. I was like, oh, yep. We were talking about a good one. Yeah, that was good. I liked it.
Thank you.
I didn't write down a stat for this. It was more so just notes I had watching the game. Keba's presence in the paint is unbelievable. How terrified dudes are when they go into the paint, and he is flying in there. I have never seen a guy that plays above his height more than him. This dude is only 6'8", and you watch a game, you'd think he's a 7'1" freak. Like, this guy's flying everywhere. He plays like he is over 7 foot. He's undersized, and his presence, like, just even when he was covering up so many holes on the defensive end in that game, whether someone would get burned and Villanova's driving to the basket, it almost felt like those Jazz teams with Donovan Mitchell, where Donovan Mitchell just gives up on a play and boom. And I'm not saying guys were giving up on plays in the BYU game, but Donovan Mitchell would give up on a play, lead him right into Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert swats it out. It kind of felt like that at points in that game. Or it's a Keba, chasing down a guy after someone gets burned. It was unbelievable stuff rewatching it again. And he's such a pivotal part to this team. And he hasn't gotten enough love in preseason previews from even us to a degree, and then talking about on a national landscape, because everybody's going to talk about the big three, but man, he is an animal.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. No one's a bigger supporter of Keba than us. We've been talking about it since last year, but I think like you said, we could have done more, and that's on us, because he is absolutely so important to everything BYU does. And we saw it last season defensively, and we saw it with Yegor offensively, but that was the extent of it, right? It was like he can catch lobs with Yegor and great pick and roll. But what I saw, against Villanova is he was much more so a part of the offense at that point. Does he still need to work on things? Does he still fumble the ball, when Rob Wright's getting in the lane and fight? Sure. But the screen game and being in the right place at the right time, the rebounding, it's taking his game to a whole nother level. And then the defense speaks for itself. I mean, if college basketball had a defensive player of the year, like, he'd be a candidate for it. He might be the odds-on favorite. It's unreal what he's doing to guys when they enter the lane. And he showed it in big blocks, but it's in the stuff, it's in the non-blocks, which is what you're saying, Carter, that is even more impactful, because you stop the shot before it even goes up, right? Yep. Because dudes are just like, I don't want to mess with it because I know this guy can pack it into the stands.
Yep. I have one more stat, but if you got another, go ahead.
Just a real quick fun ones. I mean, this is like the deep analytics stuff. It's kind of tainted because of minutes and whatever. Not all of it's true to form. And Boop, 95.7% stop percentage.
Like that.
But by far the best defensive rated player in that game. I love his minutes. The plus minus is abysmal.
But that's the thing. It lies at times. It lies.
It's a lying stat. It's a lying stat.
It's confirmation bias. That's the only way you can use plus or minus is if your eyes are telling you the story and you go back and you go, okay, all right, it backs it up actually. Because in this game, what Richie had the highest at plus 12?
I believe so. Or maybe AJ did. No,
AJ was at 10. So yeah, and Cable was at 11. Yeah.
And Boop though, in just 19 minutes, grabbed 6 rebounds. And I already read you the defensive analytics stuff. The plus minus is ugly. I think he just got caught in that bad run, which he wasn't able to make an impact because it was literally just Lindsay trucking up threes and hitting every single one. So I think that really tanked his plus minus, which is unfortunate. We love to use that stat when it pushes our narrative, but I'll forever love the Mboop minutes. Took 0 shots this game. He's someone that I think needs to step up and be more of a presence offensively because I think he has it in him. I love his 3-point, stroke, and I love what he does in the paint as a grinder. I think maybe a lot of his stuff is going to have to come off of offensive boards, but I think there's untapped potential there too as an offensive player. I think he can do more with the ball than what we've seen.
I do. When he sits there, like if they kick it out to him for a corner 3, take that every single time.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I see stuff going to the rim. Like I think that he can do stuff like that as well. So I hope he develops into more of an offensive role because everything else he does is incredible. Really good stuff.
Yeah. Last stat I had. You talked about the usage percentage. What did you say AJ's usage percentage was? 35%?
33 or 34, something like that.
So very high usage percentage. For a freshman to have 0 turnovers in a game like that in your college basketball debut, that is something I love to see. And 4 total turnovers from this BYU team, which is kind of shocking because you go, okay, 4 total turnovers. They shot kind of crappy from the free throw line, 67% from the line. That's another thing. It's like only 4 turnovers. It's like the score lies, man. Like they should have won by more. But besides the point, AJ having 0 turnovers with that high of a usage rate, having the ball in his hands that much, taking 18 shots and shooting at an efficient clip from the field, and 3 assists, like that's incredible stuff for a freshman. Truly incredible.
Truly incredible. You can read more into it. You can dig a little deeper. I talked about it like in the live reaction. You have 66 possessions in this game for BYU. You only turn it over 4 times. So 62 times you have a chance to work something and get a shot off. And then you have offensive rebounds, right? They shot at the 66 total times. The fact that they only scored 71 with that minimal of turnovers is just you can't say anything other than they just missed shots. Like the threes or whatever, but the layups, the sheer amount of bunnies that they blew was unreal. And I shout out to Villanova. I think they played really well. This should have been a blowout. It wasn't. Mm-hmm. BYU came down to the wire a little bit, and they showed their prowess at the end and how strong they really are.
Well, Villanova took a page out of the Mark Pope book and said, look, we're shooting 35 threes. we're just going to shoot as many threes as possible. They went 10 of 35, but I mean, that's the only reason they were in this game. You can say, okay, they didn't shoot even 30%, but just getting that sheer number of threes up was able to keep them in the game.
That and BYU just missing, straight up missing.
Yeah.
So it kept them in the game, for sure.
Any other stats before we move on?
I'm out of stats.
All right. That's enough for the BYU Villanova game. Going into this weekend, they play Holy Cross. We're not going to dive into a big preview. Hopefully BYU wins by 20. It's an easy game and 20 plus.
At least.
And then it's no problem. And we get to go deep into the bench. What is the number one thing you want to see Saturday night against Holy Cross?
I won't say the bench because we already mentioned it. And I think
it's fair if you say the bench or a specific player.
I don't have a specific player. I actually want to see, this is going to sound, I don't care how it sounds. I want to see a lot of freaking threes. Okay. I want to see BYU shoot it like crazy. Like I have 30
I've kind of a similar analysis of what I want to see.
Okay. I want 30 plus shots up. I want to shoot the ball. I want like 35% minimum. Like I think they can touch 40. I want them to shoot a buttload of threes, dude. That's what. And it's not because I just want like that's exciting basketball. They need to be able to do that. And so you're playing Holy Cross. You're gonna get open shots. Go do it. I want to see a bunch of threes.
Two things I want to see. One, kind of in the same vein, I want to see Rob Wright hit some shots. Like very blanket. Like and it's coming. Like just if you're worried about your Rob Wright stock position, fear not. I will buy whatever price you have it at. I will buy it at. It'll be fine because these shots are going to fall. Just and the finishing, just make the layups, which I assume wouldn't be a problem against a Holy Cross team, which is most likely to be a little undersized compared to a Power 5 Villanova team. Right. But yeah, I want to see him knock down some threes and, shoot it at a little bit more of an efficient clip. I think some people would point to Richie Saunders maybe having a little bit better of a shooting performance in this game as well. Richie being sick was something that makes me so mad whenever I see that going in. It's like right they're like tying in their waistbands, getting ready for the tip off, and the announcer goes, "Oh, and by the way, Richie Saunders is he's got COVID and the flu and the swine flu, all three going into this game, but he's still going to play through this." It's like, oh, that would have been nice to know earlier in the day. But obviously competitive advantages and everything. But that's something you do these previews and everything. You go, oh, yeah, okay. That would have been nice to know.
Yeah, or, some people, not us, but some people put money into these guys, and that, you don't know these things.
That's a whole nother variable to it. So,
I think those are really good points, Carter. One other thing I want to see people show up at the Marriott Center, and I want to see these guys enjoy their time playing there. A lot of these guys for the first time with like a real game, real fans. I know they did the blue-white thing, but I want to see them like enjoy the presence. I hope it's rowdy. Look, I get it. You're playing a crappy team. I went to North Carolina, Central Arkansas over the weekend, or I guess Monday night before BYU played. I've now seen UNC play twice in person, which is double the amount I've seen BYU.
Congrats.
A weird stat. I don't know why. If I had a nickel every time I've seen them play in person this season, I've had 2 nickels. It was cool. It's a really cool stadium. No one was there. All right. Empty. Maybe 30% capacity.
Speaking my language, this is just feeding into my propaganda machine.
No, hey, I'm not saying anything about the school.
Wait, did you see some wine and cheese hanging around?
No, hey, listen. I want the Marriott Center to be packed. I know it's not going to be a sellout. I know it, but I want to see like 70%. I want to see that amount of number, and I think it does. I think it might happen because this is the most exciting. I don't think it'll be a sellout.
I think it's going to be full.
I think 85% is attainable because this is the most exciting, obviously, basketball season BYU's ever had with the most anticipation. This is the first time. It almost seems like, well, they're finally playing at home, although it's only the second game of the season, but they didn't even get an exhibition at home. So it's really the first time we get to see them play and be on the court for real. And so I want it to be an awesome environment, awesome crowd. I want the guys to feed off of it, to enjoy it. And I want it to get loud in some amazing 12-0 run where Holy Cross calls a timeout, and the assistant coaches start to wonder how they're going to stop BYU, even though they knew they weren't in the first place because they got paid $1 million to come play them in the first place. But I just want to see a cool Provo environment. It's been too long.
I agree with that, and I'm looking at the tickets right now. It looks like there's like 40 tickets left. So
not bad then.
Yeah, not bad. Also, that doesn't mean everyone's going to show up, even though the tickets are sold. So that's a whole other thing. But
yeah,
I agree with that because I'm kind of upset we don't get to see a big time matchup at the Marriott Center in the non-con. It stinks. Like, it's cool to play in the Delta Center and everything, but neutral site games in college basketball, like, that's not what makes college basketball. Like, it's the home environments, and it's the Wisconsin game that bothers me the most because, and it's the whoever did the ticket sales for the partnership deal, whoever signed the ticket sales thing for these Delta Center games, shame on them because this is horrendous. One, this Wisconsin game's tipping off at 2 p.m. because there's a Jazz NBA Cup game later that night. Like, and then you look at the upper bowl, it's 94 tickets for nosebleeds for a 2 p.m. tip-off on a Friday. What are we smoking here? It's not even like a holiday weekend Friday. I mean, it's going into Thanksgiving week, but it's like 2 p.m. on a Friday, $94 to sit in a row queue. Stop this. Like, quit pricing out these people. And I don't think it's BYU's fault from what we've been told. It's some third-party partnership deal that's selling the tickets or whatever. Whoever that is, screw them, man. Shame on them, because they're pricing out fans, and it's tainting the environment that these games are being played in, because the Delta Center can be an awesome environment for these games. But when you're charging $94, I mean, Chase, you were at the Carolina BYU game. If those tickets were $10-$20 for the nosebleeds in the upper bowl, we're probably looking at like 90% full at the Delta Center. But they were $90 for a preseason game. What are we smoking here?
I couldn't have said it better myself. You ready for this, Carter? You ready for me to say something? I wouldn't mind if you never played at the Delta Center ever again. I don't care for it. I have a respect. It's a good arena for basketball and NBA stuff.
I get it for the fact of it helps with the net, because then it's a quote unquote neutral site game, but you're 30 minutes from campus or whatever, and so it boosts the net and everything.
30 minutes? You're an hour.
You know what I meant. That's just okay. An hour, yeah. Well,
it kills the vibe.
The traffic on the I-15. I haven't lived in Utah in like 6 months, so I haven't had to deal with the I-15 in a minute. It's like an hour 30 sometimes. 2 hours. Yeah.
It completely kills the vibe. I mean, it's never full. We've been to a lot, Carter, in our day. Even like some decent games. I mean, they've never played an opponent quite like Wisconsin, so I'm curious to see. But they played UNC on a Friday night, and it was dead. The part of that is the tickets. I understand, but I've never been to a Delta Center game where I've been like, this is just an awesome environment. No, the Marriott Center beats it every time. I know it's not for Jazz games, whatever. People might be ticked, be like, oh, I'm talking about for BYU basketball. The Marriott Center is 100 times better than the Delta Center every single time. So if you're going to play Wisconsin, if you're going to play a big opponent, just bring them to your place. I get them, like, whatever, for the net, whatever. Beat them anyway. I mean, you should win that game. Take them to your place and don't charge people $100 to go watch it. It's dumb.
And 94s for the cheap seats. 94s for the corners and baseline. I'm looking upper middle. Upper middle's 194, Chase. 194 to sit in like row 7 of the upper middle of the upper bowl of the Delta Center to see a 2 p.m. tip-off between BYU and Wisconsin.
BYU will be lucky. They'll be lucky for that stadium to be 65% full. It's 2 p.m. on a Friday.
You know what? Let's say they did this game at 2 p.m. on a Friday at the Marriott Center. That would be an awesome game.
I'd be packed with students.
Yeah. Or if you get to play at the Marriott Center, it's like, oh, wait, we can actually play at 7 p.m. at a normal time. But
the court might be purple because it's an NBA Cup night. I'm not kidding.
No. The court will be purple.
Court will be purple. Like
maybe
full
with
on
a
purple.
Bad Boy Mowers logo on it.
Slap that over the Jazz logo.
Oh man, that was good stuff, man. We're fighting for the common folk.
We are. We love you guys. We want you to go watch.
It does suck for it because and then I don't even know what we were talking about. Oh, we're talking about the Holy Cross game.
Goodwill Hunting was in there somewhere.
Goodwill Hunting was sprinkled in there. That was good stuff. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't care for Delta Center games at all, and I think they should just all be at the Marriott Center. I'm done with this. The neutral site stuff's annoying.
The media meals suck.
Oh, the Jazz ones? Oh, they're terrible.
I'll say that too. They suck.
Yeah, you don't like the popcorn that's so salty your tongue disintegrates?
Yeah, and like the lukewarm Dasani. Oh, baby.
See, now we're not fighting for the common folk. Now this is selfish.
Get me a shakaroni.
Yeah, shout out the Shakaronis. But last thing for the Holy Cross game, I just want to see one of these bench guys. You talk about like, the bench, want to see them perform better. I want to see one of these guys really take a hold of this game and kind of make it their own little coming out party, whether it's a Diamande game or Marusk goes out and hits 4 threes, or Staten comes in and gets like 8.6 rebounds or something like that. Someone come in there and really, really establish themselves and say, no, I'm going to make life hard for you, Kevin Young, because you're going to have to play me this season.
I love that. Yeah. And
Boom.
they have every opportunity. It's right there in front of them. They're going to be feeding off the crowd. Yeah. I think we do. You want to give a prediction? Who do you think that player will be?
So I think the two easy answers, because they already are getting minutes, but like, if you told me Dawson Baker had like 17 points in the game, and Boop had a double-double, like, I wouldn't be shocked at all. But I'm more so talking about the guys like Staten, Maruss, and Diamande, who are barely getting minutes at this point. I'll go with our guy Maruss. I think he knocks down a few threes.
Friend of the show, so we gotta ride with our guy. Yeah, I mean,
shout out the Maruss bus leaves the station. You gotta get on. It leaves the station on Saturday. We've been gassing up
the Maruss bus. We've been doing some renovations. It's ready to go this weekend. Yep. So everyone's gonna be hopping on. Yeah, I like that. I'll go with our guy Kostic. I've liked what I see from exhibition. He's gonna get minutes, and I think he becomes more of like a cult kind of fan favorite. Because I could see him laying down some shots and doing some great stuff at that point guard position. Because I don't know, do we have Nate Pickens news? Do we know exactly what's going on there, Carter?
No, I tried to get some info, but I've not heard back on anything. So
no, that's bad podcasting on us. We have info, we can't share it. There we go.
Yeah, that's what we should have said. Yeah, yeah, we have.
We can't talk about Nate Pickens' injury.
Yeah, we've got all this crazy inside info, dude. It's nuts. Quickly, BYU Texas Tech. Texas Tech is favored by 10.5. College game days in Lubbock, noon Eastern kickoff, 11 local time. You see the spread and you go, yikes, that's a little scary. Texas Tech favored by 10.5. Does Vegas know something we don't? How do you feel about Saturday?
It's the biggest BYU football game of my lifetime. Your and I's lifetime, by far.
Not even close.
If they win this game, Carter, they are in the Big 12 championship. There's actually, unless they've dropped all three, even then they still have a chance. This is win and in for them. I don't know if they realize that, if that's what they're talking about. They're always next week mentality, next man up mentality, next game. So maybe they're not thinking that. But I wish they kind of would. Like, they should put all their chips, push to the middle of the table, and say, like, let's just win this, and we go to the Big 12 title game. Win this, and it legitimizes everything we've done. Win this, no one can call us overrated anymore. Because beating a Texas Tech team on the road is obviously the most impressive win for BYU this season, would be. It's the most impressive win, I think, in the entire conference you can get. Like, you have an opportunity here to completely seize the college football world by the balls. And I really hope they rise to the occasion. That being said, I'm super nervous and I don't feel great about it. And go ahead.
I think LJ Martin playing is their way of saying, hey, we're putting the chips on the table. We're playing. Because maybe he's 100%. I wouldn't believe that if someone told me that, to be honest. And it's like, no, we're going out. We got to win this game. Because, yeah, you're right. If you win this game, because then you can drop one of the next ones and it doesn't matter.
I don't care if you lose to Cincy. If you beat Tech, I literally don't care if you lose to Cincinnati. You can rest everyone. Let's see McKay Hillstead in there. I don't care. This is the game. If you win this, we talk about destiny all the time. You control everything. You control more than your own destiny. You control the destiny of other teams in the sport, man. Like, you legit are forcing the hand, and everyone will be ticked about it, and it'd be awesome because, yeah, it's everything. It's crazy. It's come down.
Who's winning?
Texas Tech. Look, man. Tech's freaking good. We've talked about it for years. We said that they are like low-key national title contender. I still kind of believe that because I think college football is pretty wide open. Obviously, the loss to Arizona State was whatever. I think at one point everyone loses to someone. I think having Morton back is good and bad for them, but he sure looked good against K-State. Their defense is so tough. I think it's the best defense BYU has seen all year. Honestly, Carter, it's the vibes for me. I'm a superstitious dude. I hand up. I absolutely am all about that stuff.
I'm a little stitious.
the fact that it's like game day, it's an 11 p.m. local time, 10 p.m. 10 a.m. Mountain Time kickoff. Fowler and Herbstreit are on the call. They never do day games, so like having them there is huge. First top 10 matchup in BYU history. Like all this just kind of leads to me thinking massive disappointment, which is a toxic mindset, and I need to fix it. But it's sports. I don't know if I think that in life, but as far as sports go, that's where I'm leaning towards. And also, like 10.5 points is crazy. It's a freaking good team. You got to go on the road. Their environment, their place is going to be bonkers. I know Lubbock's going to be bumping. It's going to be a super tough game. If they win, then it would be so impressive.
I talked about it on CarterCast this week, but I'm picking BYU. I'm fully bought into this just being TCU 22 2.0. Make it nothing makes sense, and they're just going to keep winning these games. They'll go down, doesn't matter. They're an underdog, doesn't matter. The line makes no sense, doesn't matter. They just find a way somehow every single time to win these games. And the one positive, because there is stuff with the run game that does make me concerned about BYU, but like Ames is a tough environment, and we've seen Bear Bachmeier step up there every single time. Now, Texas Tech, much better team, much better defense, and it's going to be an even crazier environment. But still, winning like that already does help a ton. And then Morton. What has Morton done against a good team this year?
Ooh.
Will Hammond is the reason they won that Utah game. Morton was terrible in that game and then Will Hammond comes in, changed the entire ball game, and they pulled away.
It's true. And I don't think Morton's 100% either.
Baron Morton has not won any of these big games yet. And then on top of that, what has me concerned? I mean, Texas Tech run game. If it all comes down to can BYU stop the run. If they force Texas Tech to throw, I think BYU wins this game, and I think that's what happens, and BYU is going to win. I think they're going to prove everybody wrong once again. I'm tired. I'm not doing this, Chase. Last year I picked against BYU every single game, and I didn't believe Rhett Slaff was a good QB all season long. And I go, this doesn't make any sense. No, they're winning Saturday, and everybody's picking Tech.
Yeah, everyone is. I want to make my stance clear. I love BYU to death. I will be rooting for them. I want them. Don't let my pessimism or my lack of faith divert you away from the fact that I'm BYU till I die. The loss is coming.
Whoa. But I mean, that degree behind you will tell you we are big J journalists and very unbiased here.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm saying, yeah, I just think the odds are stacked against him, man. Like this could be like some sort of freaking movie. Like I'm literally like, this is crazy. There's so much riding on it. And, I mean, double digit underdog, even respect, blah, 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 all this stuff.
The bulletin board material is just, it just keeps getting fed to BYU all week. And yeah.
LJ Martin is, maybe he's more hurt than we think. I don't know. It's only been 2 weeks. Bear Bachmeier was going to prom 7 months ago. Like the storylines here are unreal, and it would truly be Cinderella type stuff. Even though they're the 8th ranked team in the country, it truly would be Cinderella type stuff if they won this game. And then the rest of the season is a moot point, and you just got to focus on Arlington, man. How awesome would that be? Man, I want them to win.
You can still get got in these Big 12 games. You gotta close it out. But
all you would have to do is go 1-2. Don't worry, I've done the math.
Yeah.
If you just win one of the rest of your games, you're in the title game.
If you beat
all you have to
Texas
do
Tech.
is win that. If you beat Tech, that's what I'm saying. Yes.
Yeah. I love
if they lose to Tech, they have to beat Cincinnati. Then Cincinnati becomes an absolute must win. Not even like it'd be really good. It's an absolute must win. But we'll save that for another time.
I love it. This is a long pod today. We're talking about breaking down Villanova. We got Holy Cross this week. We got 50 minutes out of this podcast. That's good stuff, man.
I think it was longer than our reaction.
Yeah, I know. I think it was longer than the reaction show. That was my fault, though. I was dealing with Field of 68 after dark, and they couldn't agree on anything on how to do it. It was all It worked out, and I'm not sitting in a gym in South Carolina right now, luckily. But next week, I will be sitting in a gym in TD Garden. I cannot wait for that. But we'll be back. We might go live. I don't know. Chaser, you want to go live Saturday night?
I mean,
play it by ear.
You know I'm always down. We'll be playing it by ear, though, folks. Yeah.
It's
a late one for our guy Carter.
I'm in. If you're in, I'm in.
I mean, I'm always in. You know what I mean?
All right. Let's plan on going live then after Holy Cross. We'll hang out.
All right.
Make sure to tune in at Church Ball Pod on everything. And then if you want to tune into the live, best way to do it, Field of 68 Podcast Network on the YouTube channel. The chat is perfect on there. Your chats will be up on the screen. Everybody can see it for you. We'll get your takes in and all that and talk with y'all on Saturday night. Very excited. At Chase_Roger0, at Carter B8, at Church Ball Pod. Once again, subscribe. We'll see y'all next time. Adios.